Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully for the first time in history, this stream is functioning. There have been technical difficulties trying to get here, but if you are here and watching, thank you. It's good to have you here. Tonight we're going to be playing some Vigil, Steel, and potentially Upward. We've got the Screaming Seagulls, who have not dropped a round yet, versus Mpreg Empire, who've done a great job through Amateur, only losing the 1 and 2 seed, and coming back and winning against the 2nd seed to be here in Grand Finals. It's going to be certainly a match to watch tonight. Of which we begin. Screaming Seagulls playing on defense, blue team here being the Mpreg Empire. They're going to be trying to get their teams onto flank. Screaming Seagulls holding pretty close here. We'll be switching over to, yeah, somebody's not laggy here, like maybe we get some Ethan on the side here. Ethan's going to be holding the flank here, trying to make sure nobody gets through. There's one soldier who jumps through trying to go for a bomb. Ethan can back up safely, though. Safely might not be the word, as Rohi, Ethan, and Scout fight and flank here to make sure they don't get any progress. They try to get their sniper in, but we're unsuccessful in doing so, giving Screaming Seagulls control over the flank, while Mpreg tries to push here on main. Now, we're going to be waiting until blue team gets their medic out, which it looks like they're pulling their medic out now. They're going to be bringing their medic. They haven't, I guess, not decided to. They want to take care of the sentry or some more players, or even cap first before they want to bring their medic out. Once they get their medic out and they have a successful uber charge, they can really make some progress here. Flame does go down on the flank here. Rohi is also down on the flank. So if Mpreg were going to push at any time, this would be the time to do so. They have a lot of pressure they can make, but they do go down to a combination play between Ethan and Nighthawk. So, Jeff here, watching the mountain, making sure no one gets over hill. Spy is gonna, he gets stuck in his head for a sec, but does jump over. Jeff's gonna have to back away. He actually finds the Spy, unsuspectingly. Spy goes down, there's no Spy on the side of Mpreg. Sniper is watching Engineer, trying to get a pick. If they can drop the Engineer, then the Sentry's easy pickings. Now they're trying to get just anything at all. They just want some in. They had one earlier, but they weren't able to capitalize on it when they dropped Rohi. But Rohi's back now. It looks like they just take an Uber in to try to take care of the sentry gun. Screaming Seagulls, of course, draw their sentry into second, letting Mpreg take first for free so that they can have a stronger defense here on second, the much stronger point to be holding. So Screaming Seagulls only lose their soldier and their spy. Not having their spy is a big deal. They aren't going to have any good calls for what Mpreg Empire is doing. And Ethan will be spawning fast enough to be able to watch side tunnel. Rohi, Witty, and Gage the Pyro are all going to be watching main here. Make sure nobody walks uphill. Like Metball here, who's going to die to the sentry gun almost certainly. Yep. And in the meantime, Mpreg is building over here, looking to play through main tunnel here. They do kill Ethan, so there's no soldier for Screaming Seagulls, but the rest of their team is healthy. And there's no heavy to walk up side tunnel to challenge, so Seagulls are looking pretty good. Mpreg Spy is going to be trying to get some cheeky progress here. Maybe get a sap on the gun when he gets the opportunity, but Mpreg needs to have their players alive and decide what they want to do with their Uber. Both teams are sitting on Uber charge. Of course, Screaming Seagulls don't want to use it unless they have to. Rohi pushing up quite a bit here. I suppose he thinks he can get some damage, and he does. Safely does a lot of damage, while the rest of the team does an exchange down here in tunnel. Gage blocking them with his air blasts, making sure Mpreg does not get any foothold through this choke point here. Screaming Seagulls now going to be safely holding here, while Mpreg is going to have to build up another Uber charge. They have 2 minutes, or sorry, they have 4 minutes and 20 seconds to be able to take this cart from here to there. Their spy is going to quickly decloak and recloak on the cart to make sure the cart doesn't slide back. And he's going to go for a sap here too. I'm not sure if their team is ready to capitalize on this. The gun gets sapped. Screaming Seagulls rotate back. And yeah, there was no follow-up. It was just a distraction. I'm not sure if that play is necessarily worth taking if you're the side of Mpreg, since it's better to keep your spy in a good spot. Instead, I think their spy just went down. Or their spy got Witty and then goes down, so not a bad trade. There's no sniper for the Screaming Seagulls. So that does mean that they can push uphill here with a whole lot less pressure, and that's exactly what they do. They walk up, they take an Uber exchange here up on hill. They might have gotten the sniper, but they didn't get the pyro. And so Gage will be able to stuff them with Rohi right behind them, ready with a lot of damage. Spy goes in for a sap. Might be a little bit late for that engagement, but unfortunately, even if it wasn't, they were a little bit uncoordinated. See the soldier bombs in a bit late. Heavy's now pushing side tunnel. If they'd done all those things at the same time, this might have been a different story, but unfortunately, they weren't able to quite get those things to happen in equilibrium. We're going to see Kawaii Cakes over here trying to take some sniper picks on the demo. If he can get it, that's going to be huge. If Rohi goes down, and he does, that's a lot of damage missing for the Screaming Seagulls. Enough so they might need to just leave, especially with their pyro going down here. Screaming Seagulls in a bit of a bind. You know, they can hold this. They do have their heavy and they have their NG, but the NG sentry goes down, and yeah, Jeff pulls out. They're going to give Mpreg second. The smart play here. A bit more time on the clock for sure, but that does mean that they can set up a successful defense here on third point, which is better than, you know, trying too hard to hold second and losing everything. So, Screaming Seagulls here are going to take as much time as they can, but Mpreg pushing up and taking an early Uber exchange before there's a sentry set up, but Ubers are ready on the side of Screaming Seagulls, and they do push Mpreg's Uber back, and they're not able to do much with that. Rohi does go down again, though, but trades with the blue Demo Man. There's going to be no Demo Man in this fight at all, and Heavy is down for the side of Mpreg. But there's a huge stab on Witty by Mpreg's spy, real name, and that's going to be a really significant pick. Will he get the Heavy too? The Heavy goes down too! This third point is going to go straight to Mpreg Empire. Screaming Seagulls can't do a whole lot to stop it, except for Rohi and Red Charge. The sentry gun is doing its work, and Rohi is doing even more, stuffing any amount of forward progress. If this cart goes back even for a second, it's going to be sliding down the hill here, and so Mpreg is going to make sure their spy has to come spy cap and get a bit of progress, but he's not close enough to do so, and so Mpreg might just be losing all of their progress. Oh, here's the spy, very good. Spy does get the spy cap. That is a monumental spy tap, because if that didn't happen there, that might have just been the game, or sorry, that might have just been the point captured right then and there, which would have been a lot of progress for the Mpreg Empire's offense. And you see the spy is desperately trying to get that progress, but unfortunately I think it might have been a bit too aggressive. He didn't need to go for a full spy cap there, not with the Seagulls on such high alert. So now we wait for another exchange here, as both teams need to build up the Uber. That was a good force by Mpreg Empire, making Screaming Seagulls use their Uber. They do have about a 40% Uber advantage here. They can take that in. They can do whatever they want with it. Spy cap comes on. No one's on cart, though. Gage gets there just barely in time. That is almost the point captured for Mpreg Empire, as Gage goes down to some sticky bombs, and they are going to have to let Mpreg capture here. This is a phenomenal offense from Mpreg Empire, really pushing on each one of these points here. See, they're getting some forward aggression here too, maybe a bit too much, but their demo's walking in. They do have Uber right now, and I think they might be trying to walk in and just use Uber and shut down Screaming Seagulls' defense before they can get it set up. But Screaming Seagulls are able to get their sentry up. They stop the spy from doing anything. So while they might have the Uber charge now, they are about to lose their advantage, as Screaming Seagulls are at 95% Uber charge, and it's going to be an evens Uber situation here. And Mpreg getting attacked from the back line and from the front. They're going to lose a lot of their players. They're going to lose their combo. They're going to lose their demo. They're going to lose their engineer. So their forward progress is going to be quite surely halted here for quite a bit. Spy is going for a stab, maybe on the soldier here. Looking a bit unsuccessful in that. He does get caught out from taking the ammo. It looks like we're going to see an alley push from, you know, Mpreg Empire here if they can get their players around. They look like they want to go for a red room play, but they've got their demo sniper and soldier already here on cliff. So that's where they want to be playing. They do drop their sniper though, so no sniper on the side of Mpreg Empire. That means no picks. That means no door, you know, progress they can make here. They're going to be pushing into coffee here. They use, trying to get the sentry gun. They do get it. No sentry gun for the side of Screaming Seagulls, and the players are all fighting the back line while Jeff is solo holding the cart. Now the rest of the players taking care of the combo can focus their attentions on the cart. And the Mpreg Empire here is unable to do too much. Still on playing quite defensively here. They can't quite get a foothold inside. They do want to get their sniper to try to get a peek here Does he find anybody? Not quite yet. Rohi does see this and starts lobbing sticks just to provide some pressure, but it is a risky play to go against a sniper here, who does get lit on fire. You're going to make that a lot more difficult to take those shots. Red Charge goes down. A great snipe from Kawaii Cakes takes out the engineer for Screaming Seagulls. There's not going to be any sentry gun here or way to heal it, and gets the medic. So Screaming Seagulls down quite a few. They're down there heavy. They're down there medic. Rohi has to fight this with Gage and Witty kind of on their own, while Ethan has to watch Coffee on his own, but goes down to somebody. That means Rohi's rotating into Coffee to deal with whoever's on flank, but also to get the side profile on the Spy trying to push the cart here. Now this is a lot of progress here from Mpreg Empire. It looks like they will be capturing here, and that's going to be a great offense for Mpreg Empire, coming in at 10 minutes and 6 seconds. Now this definitely isn't in the faster times for what you can cap for this map. However, I would not say this is a bad time, especially against the dominating team of the season, Screaming Seagulls. I would say a 10-minute capture time is phenomenal. We're going to have to see what kind of an offense Screaming Seagulls bring into this Game 1. Now, of course, in Highlander, for those new to the format, you have 2 games per round. You have your offense and your defense. First team sets the offense time, second team sets the defense. Now, if we have Screaming Seagulls get a better time than 10 minutes total, they win. They win. They win this. They win this round, and they do it again. But this time they start. They do the first time, and then Mpreg tries to beat it. And if that, if Mpreg were to win that, then it goes to a game 3 on this map. So we're gonna have to see how Screaming Seagulls formulate their offense. We see a very nice spread out sticky trap setup from the Mpreg Empire's team. No kills with the det, but that's alright. That's not usually the goal anyways. Nighthawk getting behind lines here as Spy. He sees the Heavy. He's going to go for a stab. Heavy goes down on Hill. There's going to be no Heavy for the side of Mpreg Empire to watch Hill here. That means classes like Scout and Pyro can walk up with only the sniper to be worried of. And it looks like the flank pressure is going really well with Heavy, Demo, and Pyro pushed all the way up here, almost in Sentry spam range. Now, we do have to contend with a Pyro here, playing close. Rohi might go down here to some spam. However, in the back line, Nighthawk kills Red Team's medic. There's going to be no Uber charge for Mpreg Empire, and with that knowledge, Rohi and Gage are not scared to walk up. They put down some sticks, and the sentry gun is immediately taken out for second. A great defensive hold. You definitely don't want to be losing first here and losing your gun. Scream Seagulls will be taking this first point very quickly and getting ready to push on to second. Ethan getting some forward pressure here on side tunnel. Goes down, unfortunately. But that is enough of a distraction for Nighthawk to get behind them. Nighthawk once again into position to do something, but he gets a bit greedy, goes for a stab on the side flank, and goes down. It may have been worth it to try to sneak around to the gun and get in position for a sap, as the Screaming Seagulls still do have Uber advantage, and they're going to be pushing in without a sap. So Rohi pushed up, he gets some sticks onto the sentry, gets flashed, they got a lot of damage, they killed the Hill players, they killed the gun, and that's going to be Mpreg's defense completely obliterated here on second point, as their cart pushers make some progress here, moving the objective. Although, Mpreg has come back, actually. They've made a lot of progress, but they are dropping players now. They temporarily halted a lot of momentum that the Screaming Seagulls had. But now we've got Gage, we've got Flame, we've got Rohi on the respawn. All pushing cart here, and Mpreg will certainly have to be pushing onto third. They don't have anybody alive right now. They have very few players, and their sniper goes down early, so all they're going to really have for a defensive hold here is an Uber charge, which is slowly losing its advantage, as Gage and Rohi try to get some very forward aggression, which seems to be working quite well, with a lot of fire coming out, a lot of damage, a lot of, positioning just thrown apart. They don't have to be too worried, and here comes the Uber from Screaming Seagulls, and the counter Uber from Mpreg. We're going to be seeing who gets the better positioning at the end of this Uber, with Jeff being killed in the side tunnel, but that means the Uber got diverted all the way to side tunnel. Rohi getting Reflect killed. I don't think Screaming Seagulls can make this push right now. They're going to have to reconvene and try again in a bit. A great defense from Mpreg Empire who's halting that progress. Now we're going to be seeing... We are running regular miniguns, so this heavy won't be very effective at holding here secretly. However, Nighthawk with a phenomenal pick on the Demo Man means you aren't going to have much defense for Mpreg Empire as the entirety of Screaming Seagulls push in through Cliff. They do lose their Pyro, and they lose quite a few players actually, but in the meantime, they were able to distract enough to get their combo onto the cart here, and with the picks they managed to get, they're not going to be able to stop Screaming Seagulls from capturing third point here, as Mpreg Empire were on the respawns. So now we have 6 minutes and 25 seconds for Screaming Seagulls to take this cart to last point for them to win round 1 of game 1. And that's going to be an immediate bomb in from both explosives on the side of Screaming Seagulls, taking care of that sentry and popping an Uber. That's a phenomenal expectation. That is about the best outcome you can possibly get from a bomb. They send in Rohi, they send in Ethan, and they immediately destroy the sentry and got the medic to get rid of their Uber charge. So that means the Screaming Seagulls are going to have full Uber advantage here. The sentry gun might not even be level 3, and if it is, the NG is going to have a tough time recharging that. And it looks like we're getting a red room push from Screaming Seagulls that Heavy is going to be unable to deal with the entire combo on his own. As Screaming Seagulls get their players in, they get some damage on the gun, but they lose Rohi. Unfortunately, not the person you want to be losing. And yeah, Flame goes down there. He gets a headshot. Kawaii Cake's doing a great job defending here with the sniper rifle. Now we'll have to see what Screaming Seagulls do. We see an attempt from Nighthawk to go for a stab. It was unsuccessful, but we love the try all the same. Screaming Seagulls going for a coffee push here. Some forward sticks in. They got the Heavy first and foremost, goes down to a headshot. Kawaii Cakes, yet again, with some incredible defense. Gage going down, and that's going to be their push thwarted as the team rotates back through Cliff. Now we'll have to see where Screaming Seagulls go for their next offense attempt. They're going to be trying to getting witty to get some forward pressure here. They really want to take care of Kawaii Cakes. Some incredible defensive pressure that Kawaii Cakes is giving them. Now, there is an Uber ready for the Screaming Seagulls. They're going to be pushing in with Rohi. Rohi Mig destroys the sentry gun. It's going to be a counter Uber from Mpreg on the Pyro. They drop Flame, but Jeff is in on the post. He's shredding everybody. Rohi there too. A lot of damage. Red Charge cleaning house. It's just the it's just the back of defense here for Mpreg. As they drop players one by one, their medic and spawn not wanting to die, but it's going to be a bit too late as Screaming Seagulls win this with 4 minutes left on the clock, a 6-minute push time. So that's going to be round 1 to the Screaming Seagulls as we prepare for round 2. We do get a bit of a halftime break here as both teams get to discuss their strategies or just ready up right away. Now in the in-between time, I can quickly pull up some logs, see how teams are doing on logs.tf. Let's see, Seagulls versus Mpreg. We're going to look at the damage here. Rohi Mig topping the damage charge with almost 500 damage a minute, followed by Nighthawk with a solid 380. Some great stuff. You love to see it. 13 backstabs, very, very influential to how this game went. We look at Witty, we look at Kawaii Cakes, equal in the headshots, Witty getting a bit more damage, and Kawaii Cakes getting a bit more kills. So very even SVS here going on. Metball and Vintage, 2 explosives classes on Mpreg Empire getting a lot of damage here, doing great work for their team. A wonderful number by Metball getting 6699. You love to see it. Incredible work there. Definitely planned and intentional. As for med drops, yeah, Kawaii Cake's getting 2 med drops, great stuff, and then 3 from the side of Screaming Seagulls. Both teams' medics did a good job of not dying too frequently, with only 2 deaths the entirety of that game from Eco. I was worried that the game had started and I'd missed it. But yeah, we're just in mid-game, SOAP DM as they call it, as to prepare for the next game. Now, I will just take a moment to quickly take care of something. Alrighty. So we'll just be waiting here. And it looks like Mpreg had a disconnect, probably a restart, as they get their players back in the server. Honestly, I have to say, Mpreg had a phenomenal offense. You know, sure they had a couple of moments they didn't quite capitalize on, but overall they did take the times they had, and they rolled when they had the advantage. So you love to see that kind of offense. I do think dealing with Screaming Seagulls' offense is quite difficult. You have to make sure you don't drop anybody to that spy. Their first hold was completely obliterated from the backstab from Nighthawk. Once their medic was down and they couldn't take the Uber exchange, it was over then and there for that first hold. So you love to... Pardon me. We'll have to see what kind of adaptations will Mpreg be making here on Game 2. Or sorry, round 2. Will we see any difference? Will they be putting their sentry on flank? We'll have to see. You'd love to be able to hear their comms and just find out what they're saying, what they're thinking. You know, get that kind of information, but at this point it's all speculative. Looks like there's a call out to Red Charge in the chat. Apparently Red Charge has stolen Mace's shirt, and Red does not seem to care. Alright, with Mpreg's player, their spy, back in the game, I suspect we will be starting round 2 of Payload Vigil. And just as I predicted, the game has begun. Screaming Seagull starting this one on offense. They will be setting the timer for whatever their offensive push is, and then Mpreg in the second half will be trying to beat it. So yet again, we'll be watching Mpreg on defense. I am curious to see what kind of strategies they change. Will we see a different role type of stickies, or are we going to be seeing one everywhere? I do like the one everywhere idea. It has a higher chance at catching someone.
Mission begins in 30 seconds.
Oh, we actually will indeed be seeing a sentry gun on the flank. Mace has the level 3 sentry set up really aggressive, actually, in flank here. It's going to be watching the Screaming Seagulls. If they try to get their heavy out here, it might be disastrous. This is the kind of sentry that's going to be quite hard to peek without some good forward aggression from both the soldier and the demo man, but the problem is you don't have a lot of angles. If they have their sniper watching from here... Well, actually, that's a bit too much. I think their sniper is going to just be watching here on main. Their heavy is going to be watching for anybody coming over hill. They didn't catch the spy. Will we see another big stab from Nighthawk? Nighthawk definitely is calming that there is... Ooh, he goes down right away to a rescue ranger. Rohi on the sack wave does take care of the sentry gun right away. So that's going to be no sentry gun for Mpreg Empire. It's just going to be level 1 until that gets upgraded, which... If you're Mpreg, you're going to be hoping that's as soon as possible, since no sentry gun means not a lot of damage. So we have some Red Charge doing some phenomenal cart pushing right now. Nighthawk does go down. There's not going to be any stabs coming out. Red Charge might die here to some sticks, but I think he doesn't really care that much. He just wants to get as much cart pressure as he can, take up as much space, and he actually might just cap first on his own if he can dodge these sticky bombs. We see a heavy here in tunnel. Jeff winning that. Red back to the cart. This is some phenomenal pressure they're providing here on the cart. And this is going to be a first capped without any definitive kills. Yeah, they got the pick on the heavy, they got the pick on the spy, but they kind of just muscled their way in, slowly taking the position. Once Rohi was in side flank here, just getting sticks in the position, you really couldn't hold it anymore from Mpreg. Just a slow, definite death to the defense. Now, this is going to be a really fast offense through tunnel. They aren't even going to be taking their medic. This is basically just a sack wave and seeing what they can get, and they actually just got a ton. They got the demo. They got the sniper. They got the sniper. They got the soldier. They got the pyro. They got so many players out of this. Yes, they lost a lot, but the respawns are much more forgiving for the Screaming Seagulls with the teleporter up, which isn't presently. But Fisherman Phil, Jeff the Heavy, is just shredding it in the backlines. He's unkillable, a beast, a true man of steel, and that's going to be enough distraction for the Screaming Seagulls to get the combo back out and capture second here with little to no resistance, just a scout who came and went like the wind. And in that exchange, somewhere in the backlines, there was a fight going on over here, and Mpreg's medic has gone down. A full Uber drop. So that means the Screaming Seagulls will be pushing here onto third point with a full Uber advantage. They just dropped the pyro, so there's going to be any pyro to stop an Uber here, and so Screaming Seagulls take their pyro, they take their demo man, Rohi, Mig, and Gage, and they just walk in and obliterate any semblance of a defensive hold that Mpreg had here on third point, as Screaming Seagulls take that sentry gun, payload cart, up this hill. Jeff holding the front line and the back line, but not his own backside, as he goes down here on the cart, but the Screaming Seagulls are able to capture third here. Now that is some phenomenal offense here from Screaming Seagulls. It looks like there's going to be a quick push from Rohi that does get thwarted from, it looks to be a quick shot headshot, as they push onto Cliff early here. Now they don't have Uber advantage, it's going to be an even Uber hold, but I think they just want to get as much forward pressure as they can before Gun gets fully set up. Now Gun is only level 1, does do a ton of damage though, and is going to just on its own stop him. Rohi living on 2 HP, the Spy sees that, the Spy can kill him, but Rohi does get healed on the flank, though, and it's going to be a more of a slow, methodical offense, I'd imagine, now that they don't have that. Sorry, I take that back. At some point, the gun went down, and they just walked in there without fear of dying and started doing a bunch of damage. Red Charge does go down. That's going to be their cart pressure dwindling. Flame, of course, getting some great pressure. Nighthawk, disguising a bit too late and cloaking a bit too late, gets caught by the pyro. So Screaming Seagulls are going to have to wait until they have their next coordinated push, which actually is going to be right now, as Rohi clears out the beginning of Red Room, and they jump in through drop-down window to get some big damage. The sentry gun going down. Uber here right in the face of Mpreg. As they get some big damage, they get a lot of pressure on the cart. Rohi goes down to a backstab, though. That's most of Screaming Seagulls' damage gone now, with Ethan going down and Eco going down. You've not got a lot of players left to hear the Screaming Seagulls, but they did get the cart from about here to there, which you can say isn't a lot of progress, but it's progress nonetheless. Now, Screaming Seagulls want to finish this up as fast as they can. The longer they take, the easier time Mpreg is going to have winning when it's their turn on their half. So if Mpreg can successfully hold this for, say, 10, 12, 13... hell, even if they hold it entirely, then the Screaming Seagulls are going to have a really tough time winning this. Which has further implications. If the Screaming Seagulls lose this round, not this half, but this round, then they will lose their record, their perfect record this season of no rounds dropped all season. However, as I'm saying that, we see 3 picks go down for the side of Mpreg Empire as Screaming Seagulls all bundle up on the point here with an Uber charge. And, yeah, they just kind of walked in and shot everybody to death. And they died. And that's going to be half won. Round 2 for the Screaming Seagulls with a 5-minute time. So that means Mpreg Empire, now on offense, has to beat 5 minutes and 18 seconds to push this entire map. A phenomenal time for the Screaming Seagulls. Now here on the defense, let's see what kind of a defense Rohi Mig goes for. Rohi's known to like to go for his labyrinthian sticky traps, getting a bunch of different sticks in here in-house. What will generally happen is Pyro will use the detonator to clear these sticky bombs here, because this can kill a lot of people. And so then they walk in here, and there's just a bunch of different sticky bombs they have to shoot to get it rid of so they can walk in. He's told me before, the strategy isn't to kill people, it's to waste their time. And the more time you waste on a stopwatch match like Vigil, the better. We've got some forward aggression here from Nighthawk, not playing too... Actually, sorry, this is more backward, or back of the... it's not too forward. what generally happens is you'll have your spy jump over to rock sometimes, or you get a lot of forward aggression spies up here, but if you see what happens when there's a spies up here, somebody shoots them. Whether it's this heavy or the... Yeah, there's some spy checking right there from the medic. So now we have the team pushing into side tunnel here. Mpreg trying to get as much space as fast as they can, because if they get held on this first point here for too long, they're going to be really feeling it on the last point here. We see a big bomb in from Metball, but gets caught out by Flame. Flame knows there's a heavy here and jumps on him, obliterates him, and that's going to be most of the forward aggression from Metball on flank here. Short us it down. However, they did get their sniper, and Kawaii Cakes is a foe to be reckoned with, but unfortunately, so is Ethan. And Kawaii Cakes goes down, and the Pyro goes down, and that's going to be their flank pressure dwindling. But the Demo Man, undeterred from his lack of numbers, runs up to take the Demo v Demo with his Soldier and his Heavy. They might have lost players, but that doesn't mean they can't lose more. And they're going down one by one to the immaculate mouse and keyboard aim from the player Witty. Heavy does get out with his massive health pool and his big iron fists. But Witty watching side tunnel, now watching main. It's going to be a tough cookie to crack trying to get in here. They've both got to deal with the sentry gun from Red Charge, Uber Charge from Eco, damage from Rohi, and the sightlines from Witty, who just won the Sniper v Sniper. There's no sniper for Mpreg, but it doesn't matter. It looks like, as I was so enamored from their sniper dying, Mpreg pushed and won first. I'm a wire on the Source TV saying beef. And Screaming Seagulls here now going to be holding second. They do have their Uber Charge, while Mpreg do not. I believe what happened is Mpreg took an Uber Charge into first and forced everybody out. And this will be a successful spy sap with their team's coordination. They tried to take an Uber push over hill at the same time, but it was not successful. And so they aren't going to be able to quite make it up the hill here. But that was a lot of pressure and forward momentum. Well, a lot of pressure, but maybe not momentum. A lot of space created, but they weren't able to cap. And unfortunately, at this point in time, you've only got 2 minutes and 48 seconds left on the clock. If you're Mpreg Empire, you're going to be wishing that you'd capped there and rolled, because you're going to be needing some type of a roll, a snowball, if you will, to be able to make it to last. We see the Uber in from main tunnel here with the Demo, the Heavy. That's a lot of flashes. That Uber's not going to last very long. Ethan sitting on point with the battalion's backup for extra defense, and Rohi sitting above, just the cart does a backflip as the Mpreg Empire does get whittled down. They do capture here, though, but they lose all their players in the progress. Screamy Seagulls are forced to leave as their spawn point has been pushed back. And yeah, May saw it too. There was a cart flip. An epic backflip of proportions unseen. Rohi dropping the Soldier on the rotate to... Ooh, Kawaii Cakes with a big angle. If Medic peeks that, they are aware, they have been notified. Witty goes down to Kawaii Cakes. Yet again, a great SVS performance from Kawaii Cakes, really pulling the weight of Mpreg's offense here. I shouldn't say that. They've been doing some great coordinated pushes this time around. I just don't think it's quite fast enough for what they want to accomplish here. Jeff holding on the side, but he's not able to do it alone. Goes down. Flame try to help him up as well. At this point here, Screamy Seagulls mostly just want to waste time. Mpreg have a minute and 30 to push it to last. If they get a snowball, they can do it, but Screamy Seagulls are just jumping in and killing their combo every chance they get, which is just delaying the time further. Without that time on the clock, it's going to be really, really difficult for Mpreg to come back from this. We see a bit of pressure from Spy, pushing the card up slowly. It's not a big concern to the Screaming Seagulls. They don't want to commit too much around that corner if they don't have to. He goes down to a sticky bomb before he gets up the hill. The hill's cart's bottom of the hill. Mpreg's Demo Man trying to get some sticky bombs over that wall, but it's a tough angle to hit, and there's a lot of pressure coming in from Screaming Seagulls, and Mpreg's Demo Man is just on the verge of death and does go down. However, Mpreg almost, they do indeed capture third point. A phenomenal capture indeed. However, they weren't able to do it with their lives. And now... We see Eco solo Uber on the cart, knowing they've won. There's only 25 seconds left. They do have a lot of players alive for Mpreg, but they only have 15 seconds, and unfortunately the cart does not move fast enough. So this is going to be round 2 and game 1 of Payload Vigil to the Screaming Seagulls. I mean, but look how close this cart was. What a phenomenal offense from both teams. They definitely could have gotten this in a six minute time if they managed to push this to last right to the end, but that wasn't the timeline we were meant to see, and that's going to be game 1 for the Screaming Seagulls, as the map changes level to welcome us into the warm embrace of CP Steel for our next game. Now let's take a look at those logs, see how the second game went for damage. Looking at damage, Rohi topping the numbers yet again, followed by Mpreg's Demo Man. Both Demo Men topping the charts is great. Rohi, though, in a league of his own, the only to hit 400, just like in the last game, the only one to hit 500. Damage unmatched for the division. Even if we look at more.tf, we're going to be seeing some players from the Screaming Seagulls at the very top of their leaderboards. Rohi Meg at the top, Jeff at the top. They've got some crazy players. We've got a Flame at second to the top here. He's getting some unbelievably good damage. And Nighthawk, I believe, is somewhere here. I'm not sure where, but I know he's somewhere on these charts. Yeah, just overall some crazy good talent here on the Screaming Seagulls this semester. My apologies, this season, as they play for RGL's winter season. Now, we will have to wait a little while for teams to join in, ready up. See if the Screaming Seagulls posted anything in any of the chats. Yep, some stuff in yeah. So Steel is a fun map. It's got quite a lot of interesting plays you can make. CP Steel is a capture map, so there's no payload to be escorting. Instead, you want to stand on top of these round things here. Stand on them long enough and you capture it, just like if you captured a point in the previous map. The main quirk to this map, though, is after you capture the first point, what you're supposed to do, of course, is then you go down to the second point over here, and you capture B, and you go over here and you capture C, and then you go over here and you capture D, and you go over there and you capture E. But Steel is special. It's one of the very, very limited maps that after you capture A, you can just go straight to E, which cuts off a lot of the map. And because of this rotational style communication way of approaching this format of capture the points, the most powerful point in the entire map to hold is Wishbone. Wishbone controls so much of the map, because this alone rotates to every single point except for D directly. So over here, you go to C. Over here, you're watching B. Of course, over here, you're watching E. Now, D is a little bit less of a concern since you have some direct spawns right out of here to go watch D. So D is a terribly scary place to cap. And E, to capture this last point, you have to be standing on it for like a whole minute. So A to E is pretty risky. You can't just throw one scout over here and capture and just get a back cap and win. You gotta bring a whole team with you. You gotta fight through this back. Usually with your flank, you'll bring your scout, you'll bring your soldier, you'll bring your spy, you'll bring your engineer, and all of them will run through, trying not to get caught out by defenses here. And what the engineer wants to do is he wants to bring a teleporter and a sentry gun all the way up into this area here, Heaven. If he gets a sentry gun watching E, and he gets a teleporter here, then everybody who spawns for the attacking team can spawn and just jump onto point with a sentry gun watching their back. This is at least one of the standard ways of doing an A to E push. And then to counter that, of course, you got to make sure that the defensive team is able to be holding Wishbone. They hold Wishbone, then they can slowly get some forward spam here. They can watch the point here. So even if there's a gun, you know, they're still being watched from here. Yeah, we'll have to see. This is called the upset map since it's all about who can coordinate better with their team. Will the Screaming Seagulls' perfect season come to a halt here at the hands of Mpreg Empire and their tricky maneuvering around the map? Or will Screaming Seagulls take this home to become the AMRGL Highlander Grand Finalist? And I just realized in the title of this stream I put Grand Finals. I can fix that right now. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I was saying either at the beginning of the stream or before the stream started or the previous stream or fucking a previous life even that I was really struggling getting this thing to go live with a scheduled broadcast, so I had to like reconnect everything. I didn't know that was something you could do. Screaming Seagulls here. I'm going to be very curious to see what strategy they will bring. I'm going to be watching Eco 2 perspective. He, of course, is the medic. If he goes down here when he doesn't want to, it's going to be really bad for the Screaming Seagulls. What I'm expecting to see is Eco will probably run up to A with the rest of his team. From there, you can either see one of three things. He's either going to rotate back in to spawn to do a B push. He's either going to drop down on A to do a B push, or he's going to rotate into lobby to try to take E with his team. It looks like none of the above. He's actually going to stick and spawn, so it looks like this is almost confirmed to just be a standard B push. A, B, go from there. Or it could be a feign. We'll have to see. Screaming Seagulls take A point. Nobody ever holds A point. It's a terrible spot to hold. There's absolutely nothing the defensive team can really do. It looks like the spy's caught out, though. That's really unfortunate for Mpreg. They're not going to have any comms. So now Eco can go anywhere, and Mpreg is not going to know where he's going. But it looks like they're just going to take this standard right through here. They're going to take an Uber in from lower, try to get the sentry gun here. Try to get their pyro in, and sentry gun goes down. They got the pyro walking up to get some space, denying the Uber charge. Now, just getting gun there on its own is quite powerful. And in the meantime, we do see some pressure. We are trying to get red charge in, but he does go down. Some great defense here from Mpreg Empire, stuffing that offense attempt. As Witty, the sniper, even tries to get some forward momentum. Ethan going down here, potentially to the spy. He's only 1 HP. Kills the spy himself. So now he's fighting the scout on his own. He gets the scout too! Mpreg Empire has lost so much of their defense here just to Ethan, who gets the conch, what's going to be restoring his HP. As Witty also, Flame also has the soda popper. And that's going to be Mpreg Empire's flank defense completely obliterated by Ethan, which makes Red Charge have a free entry into heaven. We'll have to see where he builds, what he does. He will be enabling his team to get a lot of progress here if he's able to build these buildings. Killing the killing the scout, or potentially not. I think the scout got out back to hell. In the meantime, Screaming Seagulls also pushing, trying to get some pressure onto B. As long as they pressure B, the combo for Mpreg can't rotate. But once the pressure's off, the combo rotates. In the meantime, though, Screaming Seagulls, they got the teleporter up. And here comes the sentry gun. Screaming Seagulls with a phenomenal ADE push with some great beat pressure in between. Oh, but the gun goes down right away. Great heads-up play from Metball, being ready to take that gun down before they're really ready to take an exchange. Screaming Seagulls, though, they've pushed in through lobby, through the flank, and now they are making sure that Mpreg is not able to push in through Wishbone at all. The sentry gun does keep going down. Flame takes out the soldiers, so now this gun should be up to stay. The only thing they're going to be worried about is you can spawn in from here on the side of Mpreg Empire. So they're not really safe here, Screaming Seagulls, but they are doing a phenomenal job with this forward pressure. Because they haven't captured B, you do get access to the spawn room from Mpreg Empire, so you see just how oppressive that is, having that forward spawn open and ready. Flame getting some great pressure here. He's going to try to get as much time on this cap as he can, because doing so means that Mpreg is going to have to divert resources. As you see, the Heavy, the Soldier, the Scout are all here, and that means they can't be watching B, which means that Rohi, Jeff, and the whole combo for Screaming Seagulls can just walk up onto B on their own, and ideally just capture this point, as they can't really handle Rohi and Jeff together. But Rohi is now basically on his own. He's not going to be able to do a ton. They don't have any cappers over here, because the cappers are over here, making sure Rohi stays uncontested. Flame chasing down this soldier here. He goes down. Flame down. There's no one to deal with that soldier now. If the soldier can get in a spot to spam, then the gun could go down once more. However, forwards is now locked off. B point was captured by Rohi. So next step for Screaming Seagulls is they really would love to have Wishbone in their control. Once they have Wishbone and Heaven together, the game is basically theirs. But it is a bit risky. It's in fact extremely risky and probably not worth it. So they will be pushing through Slow Door here on C. If they can capture C, it makes the respawn times even longer for the side of Mpreg Empire. And with longer respawns come a greater advantage for the Screaming Seagulls. Every pick becomes better and better and better as they force this Heavy out. The Spy, he's looking. He's watching. He's a bit of a voyeur, but that's not going to stop him from doing his job. He might go for a stab here on Rohi Mig, who's maybe not aware, and that's a Rohi Mig down. A wonderful stab from Real Name there on Spy. Now you're going to have a bit of scuffle here. It's an Uber exchange. Eco goes down, and Gage is soon to follow, so that's an unsuccessful C push. And in the meantime, Screaming Seagulls lost their Heaven teleporter. So that's going to be a square one reset for Screaming Seagulls. They do not have any buildings. They do not have any players. They've effectively lost any advantage they've had other than the capture of B, which is a very difficult capture point to capture. However, with all that focus on C point, they aren't holding Wishbone. So Screaming Seagulls are able to take up Wishbone. We're going to see Red Charge put a teleporter there as the Screaming Seagulls they just want Wishbone. They got Wishbone, they can have it. It's huge. Gage on point, getting arrow tanked. He's solo capping this right now. He's going to be forcing Mpreg to rotate from C to go deal with this threat. And I don't know if going through Wishbone is the answer since Jeff is watching. Jeff does go down though. And there's no Uber for Screaming Seagulls. Rohi was a bit too far back to do any effective damage. And they do drop the Heavy though. It is now a Demo Man v Demo Man, with Rohi getting quite a bit more damage and a lot more healing, it looks like. Gage does go down. Sentry Gun is up now. They aren't aware. That's the Demo Man down for Mpreg Empires. Rohi successfully baits the Demo to walk forwards. It's going to be an Uber exchange here, but Screaming Seagulls don't have yet. So that's going to be Screaming Seagulls with Wishbone pressure, and with all that Wishbone pressure and the Sentry Gun in Wishbone, they were able to capture E, winning the game in 6 minutes and 37 seconds. So that means Mpreg Empire, now on offense themselves, have to beat a time of 6 minutes 37 seconds. Now, this is not an impossible time to beat going A, B, C, D, E. However, realistically, the only way they come back and they win this is if they are able to take an A to E push of their own. Which, if it's something they're expecting, it's going to be really hard for them to win. Now, we'll have to see. Where does Nighthawk want to play this? Looks like he's playing this up over here. It's really not a bad spot. I find it a bit risky. All of these spots are pretty commonly checked by Pyro.
5, 4, 3.
Common spots are up here. I saw him trying to go for a jump here on the house. They got the whole team rolling out here. I don't know. You're going to get flashed pretty soon. He somehow almost evades the Heavy, but does go down. Good try. So that means Screaming Seagulls will not have any clue, other than speculation, what Mpreg will be doing after A gets captured. Looks like Kawaii Cakes is rotating up to A. Will this be a drop-down snipe play? Oh, it looks like this will be. Will Kawaii Cakes get any snipes from here? Looks like just some damage on the sentry gun before being spammed out. The goal with this is to catch the medic being a bit too close. Medic being right about here and getting a drop-down shot on the medic, but Screaming Seagulls had already been in their Uber charge by the time it was time to go for the drop-down. Maybe a misalignment of timing. However, Mpreg Empire does kill Jeff on heavy. That means there's no one up here watching upper, and they are able to take that space for themselves while getting some E pressure with their cappers. They've got the soldier with the pain train to do extra cap time with the scout there for some great pressure. However, with the soldier and sniper in forward sponsors, Screaming Seagulls have a formidable defense, and maybe a bit of a premature sentry spot for Mpreg Empire. They're not able to do too much. Flame chasing this poor Texan all the way to drop down with the force of nature and does finish him off. We see here another push from Mpreg Empire. Screaming Seagulls have mostly backed out of B as they don't have their upper pressure, and they were getting pressure from behind. Nighthawk does kind of get found here, but he evades, he maneuvers around. And it looks as though in this moment of time, we have a tactical pause. So we will be having to wait and see what happens next. I find it really funny that the UI hasn't paused. So B is just getting captured right now. But we are in fact paused. We'll have to wait till we get unpaused to see what's going on. Timer's going down in the pause, but that's just the fun oddities and intricacies of the Source game engine. Crazy, I say to all the other spectators at home. Looks like we are back. Quite a few people are watching this live, it looks like. I'm going to quickly jump back into the game here through a command just to reset the timers, reset all the captures and everything. Just to have the accurate, up-to-date information. Don't want to be false news. So as for defense right now, Screaming Seagulls are holding here in heaven. Oh, wow, a fantastic hold on Wishbone by Mpreg. They did just lose the Demo Man, which is an unfortunate person to be losing for an offense. But they got the gun being built. They don't have it pre-built, so it's just a level 1. It's a do-it-yourself kind of machine gun over here, which has been upgraded to level 2. Wishbone now in the firm control of Mpreg, but they left it! They ran away to go do something else, and that gun went down. I think leaving that gun there for a second was not the right play. Mpreg had a great foothold here, but now that gun is going to be tough to reestablish. As we take an Uber exchange in here from Wishbone, Screaming Seagulls pushing right in, trying to take this back for themselves. And it looks like they're going to be successful in doing so. Mpreg Empire just lost their best foothold they've had, and it's really rough to see that. They do have this defensive teleporter here. It looks like their pause happened after losing Wishbone. They got the heavy pushing in. He's entirely on his own for the meantime. Make space for their Pyro and Demo Man to walk in. They want to get their scout here. They want to get their players ready, but nobody can really jump on this cart, or nobody can jump on the point here until this gun goes down. Red Charge, he's lost his pants, but that doesn't deter him from making the best goddamn gun in the West, as he makes sure any attempts to push in through lobby are thwarted. Mpreg Empire either has to get a noticeable amount of pressure over here and deal with this gun, or they need to make it through Wishbone. Now the problem with both of these is Wishbone, you don't really have the angle. You don't really have the damage from here, so you have to go for a spy play, which they did! They did the spy play! An incredible job from Real Name. He stabs the engineer, and he gets the sap on the gun goes down. That means that they would be able to do their Wishbone play right now if they wanted to. However, Mpreg looks as though they've instead decided to go for a push onto C point, which I'm not certain was the best move. They have decided to abandon that rotate to do a push here, but it might be a bit too late. They do have... They've given Screaming Seagulls enough time for them to rotate around to be in a position to deal with this Wishbone play. They did leave a spy to solo cap here on C, so Mpreg will be capturing C here, which does open up the ability to pressure D through lobby. If Mpreg Empire can walk their team, which it looks like they're about to try to do, through here and into D, and without any problems capture this, they can win this, absolutely. But it's going to be tight. And D is not an easy point to push with a spawn door here, and a spawn door over there. All these different angles to capture D from above with all this code. This actually isn't a spawn door, I lied. I don't know why I thought it was, but... And yeah, as you see, Mpreg is trying to get some pressure here, but there's just so much aggression. I take that back, it looks like they got an Uber charge in, but they did lose their demo man. And so Mpreg, while getting picks, they're not going to have much post-Uber. They did get a lot of picks, and a pick is good. But they didn't get enough to take D. So now there's only 38 seconds on the clock, even with their whole team stacked onto E in this exact moment. Actually, they could win with their whole team stacked onto onto E. And it looks like they're going for it. But they've been pushed off. If they'd all stayed on the point there, I think it was winnable. There's a 30-second clock to capture E on your own. Sorry, capture E with maximum cap timer, but they weren't able to capitalize. And that's going to be Screaming Seagulls. Whew, taking round 1 of Steel. I don't know if that's the entire game or just round 1. I don't remember how they do it in playoffs. Let's just quickly take a look. Yeah, they go into the next half now. So they do some soap DM, and then last time they played, Screaming Seagulls went first. They set the time, just like in Stopwatch, and similar to such, Screaming Seagulls will be going second this time, trying to beat whatever time Mpreg gets for their totaled offense. In the meantime, let's take a look at the logs. For the best damage, we actually see Mpreg's Demo Man doing a phenomenal 506 damage. Over 100 more damage a minute than the second best Rohi, who's got the 100 more than the next best Ethan on Soldier. We do see a lot more damage for the Screaming Seagulls across the board. This is going to be the trend if a team spends more time on defense. Or I guess I should say successful defense. Because defense, you're going to rack up a lot more spam. As for kills, we see Flame getting just a ton, followed by Mpreg's Demo Man. He's really doing a lot there. Med drops, we have actually Engineer with 2, Sniper with 2, Demo with 1. Not a lot of deaths from Bliffenstimmers here. Mpreg's Medic is doing a great job staying alive. We do see lower damage numbers for both Witty and Kawaii Cakes this game. Of course, it is not the best map for Sniper. In fact, one of the harder Sniper maps in the map pool this season. In fact, so commonly will you see Huntsmen on this map as running the regular Sniper rifles hard, so they pull out the bow and arrow, as it's a lot more common to just shoot it down a hallway and get a headshot, which is totally viable, yeah. However, that does diminish the ability to get a sniper up into this spot over here. Little assassination outpost. It's meant for nothing but shooting into last. You can't jump through this window, you can just shoot. So it is aptly named JFK as a callout. I'm curious to see what kind of adaptations Mpreg will bring to the table. It looks like they went for an ABCE push. Will they try going for a standard ABCDE? Will they go an A to E? We'll have to see. Mpreg is starting on the offense once again. It looks like we still got the pain train on, so that does indicate to me that he's going to be wanting to push right away into lobby. Although I have to say, I'm not a huge fan of trying to push lobby with a pain train. Pain train makes you take more damage from bullets. Now that's a problem because to push through lobby, you're going to be wanting to fight a sniper, or sorry, not always a sniper, a scout and a soldier. And that scout, especially on Witty, hitting with the force of nature is going to be one-shotting anybody with the pain train.
Mission begins in 10 seconds. 5, 4,
He did it. Nighthawk, he's on the Testel.
1.
If he is not found, oh, and he is,
Control point is being captured.
if he is not found, then he can stay invisible and call out who's going where and what's happening. So if he ever sees the medic run out and go over here, that means the whole team's got to rotate. If he sees the medic go down here, it means the pyro rotates from here to look over there, and the medic gets ready for a potential headshot. But of course, no eyes on Spy. We'll have to see what occurs. Spy is in position to go for his sap. If the Spy can coordinate a sap... Whoa! We see a quick stab from Nighthawk on Spy, killing the sniper. Not the most important pick right at this current time, but certainly a nice one. And Witty, being a little bit toxic in chat, drops the question mark. I'll reciprocate with an exclamation mark. And yeah, we're just going to be watching. Ah! I looked away. The entire team went to A. I needed a Spy to tell me where to go. It looks like it got shut down, and they've rotated to do a drop-down push. So what they did is they made everybody think. They made Screaming Seagulls think they were going to E. Everyone rotated in to go fight E. Then they rotated back around and went down drop-down. A great push for B, but unfortunately, Screaming Seagulls were able to react fast enough and shut down that push from drop-down, halting that momentum there. Other than the sentry going down, that is going to be a full reset for the defense. And it looks like we got the whole team rotating back over to E once again. This is going to be another E push. However, they do have Flame to call that they're going for an E push. So, yeah, Mpreg is going to be trying to take this and forcing their way through. But they do have to worry about the sniper looking through forwards. Of which, Metball takes a clean body shot. He's very low now. One more body shot and he is gone. Or a rocket, and that's going to be it. Yeah, some really good ideas coming out from Mpreg, but they aren't able to unfortunately capitalize on their positioning with the damage needed to take an E push. Screaming Seagulls, of course, still holding Wishbone. Just passively spamming them out. Flame going a bit more aggressive, trying to get some forward damage. Alright, after the A to E push, it looks like they're going to be going for an Uber into B once again, but unfortunately this one is also stuffed. Screaming Seagulls have rotated back around once again to thwart this push again. This is a tough defense to get through. Screaming Seagulls have done a lot of scrims on steel. So it's going to be quite tricky to outmaneuver them. They see the E pressure. I don't think they're too worried. They've got Ethan, they've got Witty sniping and soldier bombing in from forwards. And so that's not enough for them to rotate as their sniper or their soldier does get killed in the back lines. Their Spy gets caught ruining the sap and Uber play. Great job from Gage on Pyro, doing a great job sniffing out the Spy with that gigantic sniffer. Sentry goes to go down though. No sentry, it was a dry push. So Screaming Seagulls losing quite a few players here actually. And Mpreg look like they might just be able to just walk in here and take this for themselves. A bomb in from the soldier does get denied, but a great attempt nonetheless. And now there's going to be an Uber exchange here. They're going to want to get as many kills as they can on the side of Mpreg to be able to take B. And it looks like, even without the kills, they managed to apply that forward pressure. to really take it out. But here comes Rohi. Rohi with some huge damage on the point, completely forcing Mpreg off, but not in time. Mpreg caps the point. Rohi gets back to Wishbone with Jeff and the medic. Eco 2. And now, Screaming Seagulls will be holding Wishbone against Kawaii Cakes on Sniper. I don't know why you're alive right now, Nighthawk. I know that's like your whole thing that people always ask you that, but like, I don't know why they didn't just follow you in. They knew you were in here. So now Nighthawk can go for a juicy stab and a sap. We got one of the two, and so at this point in the game state, Screaming Seagulls are holding C and also kind of Wishbone. They're very passively looking at Wishbone. They don't want to commit too much. They have Flank holding in Heaven, so any pushes onto E through Wishbone are going to be thwarted. A great sentry, but you might just be a bit too forward. You need to have your team with you here. Mpreg, they've rotated through Slow Door onto Cliff to try to take C, but Screaming Seagulls have their combo ready to deal with that. A lot of damage in. Rohi just killing the heavy with a big amount of sticky damage. And will this be an Uber in? This will be an Uber exchange on C to stop Mpreg from just taking the C point on their own. Jeff nice and healthy even after the Pyro ran at him. Unfortunately, they weren't able to stop this. This will be a capture for Mpreg. Jeff actually looking like he wants to solo it, but he's not quite fast enough in his big hulking body. So with a lot of players here in Wishbone, Mpreg Empire looks like they kind of just want to push out from Wishbone to take the point here. They're going to do a C to E push just like their last game. A bomb in from the Pyro on the Engineer. He does go down to the Sentry Gun, but the Sentry Gun goes down to the Spy. And that's going to be a lot less defense here for Screaming Seagulls from Heaven. However, Rohi rotated into lobby with the team, clearing out whoever was in here before. And yeah, we'll have to see. It looks like the Screaming Seagulls have entirely lost Heaven now. With Gary here, solo holding on E to try to get as much cap time as he can. He's going to have to get off. I'm actually not sure why he had to get off. I think he could have held that for a bit longer. Maybe to watch his Engineer as the Engineer gets his gun up. Which he does. So now they've got a gun here on Wishbone. Might be a bit forward for that gun. It could get spammed out from... I forget the Carson. Gun is indeed going to get spammed out from Carson and from lobby. A little bit too aggressive there. A bit more of a back gun here would have been a lot more powerful. As Mpreg struggles to get a foothold here. They want to push in through lobby, but Screaming Seagulls are holding lobby right now. Yeah, getting through this doorway is looking like a Herculean task. They got the Pyro through, though. The Heavy is coming now, too. It's looking like this is going to be an Uber exchange here, but there is no medic for the Screaming Seagulls, so they're going to have to leave. But not before losing half of their players. What a juicy Uber if you're the side of Mpreg Empire. And they're going to take this player advantage to just hold E, except for their Demo Man who's fighting on his own. I think he's going to go down potentially here. No, he just out-DMs them. But goes down to a melee from Flame. This is actually a lot of forward pressure here from Mpreg Empire. I think they just take E. You're going to need a lot of damage. You're going to need Rohi up and alive and doing damage, but Rohi's dead for another 10 seconds on the clock. That might not be enough to make the difference you need. And yeah, Mpreg takes half one with a time of 8 minutes and 27 seconds. A formidable time for sure. Screaming Seagulls are now going to have to get any time better than 8:27 to take home the Grand Championship. Now, they did push in 5 minutes before, so that means that Mpreg Empire on defense is going to have to make some crucial adaptations to be able to take this home. Screaming Seagulls could choose to do another offense tactic. It looks like we're doing stickies all around on first. But they were called out. They are Okay, we got a soldier here watching on first. I'm not too familiar with first holds. I guess that soldier isn't visible unless you turn around over here. So I guess they're banking on Metball not being found out by anybody turning around. Might try to go for a medic drop as well. I'm really not too certain what the play is here, but I like it. It's fun. However, it does not cover you from being seen, and Flame does see him right away. I think some extra tech is taking off the unusual hat, so there's a less visible for you. Screaming Seagull's now walking up to A. Now, while they're doing that, it looks like Rohi is going to maybe do a sack wave, and he does. He runs in there, and the medic goes down! They dropped Mpreg's medic! I'm going to drop a huge in chat. Misspell it because I'm just like that. So Screaming Seagulls just did a sack wave where they sent in their medic, or sorry, they sent in their demo man and their soldier for the medic, getting instantly respawned when A was captured. Rohi with the formidable charge with the Tide Turner, I'd imagine, piped the medic and followed up by Ethan on soldier. So now they can pretty safely take any Uber exchanges they want to take. In the meantime, it looks like their flank push did not go too well. Red Charge losing all of his stuff. Rohi, though, he's going to walk in. He's going to get some sticks. The gun goes down. It wasn't even saved. And Screaming Seagull's going to be taking B, potentially just right now. They do have to worry about spawners, but they did kill the demo man in that Uber exchange. That's a lot of damage that Mpreg is not going to have here. And yeah, Screaming Seagulls taking point B in only a matter of minutes. Now from there they can take this however they want. They can go through Slow Door, take C, the slow and steady route. They can try to muscle their way in through Wishbone here. And with Wishbone control, they can still like rush into C, but it also gives them the option to push into E a bit. So it looks like they're going to be pushing in. Rohi does go down. It might have been worth it to wait until they had Uber. I'm not too certain. He does die to a trap. Jeff pushing in now. They still do not have Uber. And they're going to be taking the exchange here without Uber. And dropping their whole combo. I hesitate to say it's a misplay, but it certainly seems like a strange play. Gage just found the Rescue Ranger. My beloved. It looks like the Sentry in Heaven has been entirely cleared out. Mpreg Empire not having a good defensive stronghold here on E. We've got the Sentry watching point. We've got Heaven in control of the Screaming Seagulls. All the explosive classes are watching that spawn. Rohi might get wrapped by the Scout, but the Scout didn't know he was there. Could have been detrimental. But in the meantime, Screaming Seagulls capture E. Well, they've got pressure from Wishbone, pressure from Heaven, pressure in lobby, pressure in the forwards. Frankly, it's a really tough spot to come back from, but Mpreg did it. They muscled their way into Heaven. Ethan didn't have a lot of support there, so he does get dropped out of the way. Mpreg is able to set up a gun here, making it so E is basically impossible to capture in the meantime. But because they had to devote all that effort to C, Screaming Seagulls will get a crisp, clean, and pretty much free capture for point C. Now, will they take this through Death Hall? Death Hall is risky. That is going through here past two different spawn doors, but it looks like they don't. They take it back through Wishbone. And straight onto E, at least by the spy. Who goes up? Is he going for a sap? It looks like he is. Sap inundating. And the gun goes down. And so does Nighthawk, never to be seen again in the dark void of CP Steel's pit. Screaming Seagulls haven't lost their Sentry yet. Sentry is still up and alive. That's some amazing defensive prowess. Or offensive prowess, I should say, for Screaming Seagulls. It might go down to a Demo Man here. But the Demo Man is not able to actually capitalize, and instead just kills Nighthawk again on the respawn. Now there's an Uber exchange happening somewhere. I wasn't looking. It looks like there was an Uber on D. fighting for lobby pressure, and the Screaming Seagulls forced Mpreg into lobby. So now Mpreg is rotating around this corner, trying to stop the Screaming Seagulls from capturing D, but it's already too late. The Screaming Seagulls have just muscled their way onto the capture zone here. That's going to be point D for the Screaming Seagulls. That means every respawn for Mpreg Empire is going to be, I believe, 30 seconds long. And the Screaming Seagulls have just so much pressure to play with. They have 3 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock, but they've got their whole team on E, and it won't take 3 minutes from the capture this point. It will take closer to 30. So if they can hold on to this point for another 20 seconds or so, Game 2 and subsequently the entirety of RGL AM Highlander Grand Finals will be going to Screaming Seagulls as they take an Uber exchange here into Wishbone. It's nasty. Mpreg goes down, and well, history has been made, folks. The Screaming Seagulls win AM Highlander RGL. Let's jump in the Discord chat, see what the fellas have to say. Fellas,
Yo.
GG's.
congratulations on the flawless season.
Thank you.
Completely
yeah.
flawless. Yeah. First times happens in AM. I don't know about other divs.
Any gamer friendly commentary for the end of the game, end of the season?
GG's.
GG's
What a time.
indeed.
GG's. Crazy last season for Ethan too.
Yeah, formally announcing to all the viewers last Highlander season. It's over.
It's ogre.
I'm on to become a professional pastime player. Hit rank 1.
Yeah, don't forget us, Ethan, when you make it big.
Oh, I'll forget
Before you
everybody.
go.
Everybody's forgotten. Everybody. Except Flame. I won't forget Flame. I'll never forget.
Can't forget Flame.
Congratulations once again.